Let's roll.
There's a Voltaire quote. If they can make you believe absurdities, they can make you commit atrocities. In a nutshell, that's what this is.
There was a new phenomenon this week, something called QAnon.
What exactly is QAnon, and why is it making headlines now?
Here we go, one, we go all. God bless America.
QAnon was a perfect storm. They had set this thing up since 2017. They created this huge radicalized set of people. Then the pandemic comes.
Americans in retreat tonight seeking isolation in the face of the coronavirus. The federal government is taking new steps forward to fight the pandemic.
As President Trump, flanked by major CEOs and his task force, announced a national emergency.
And suddenly you've got 100 million more people online.
Well, as of today, all but a handful of states have issued stay-at-home orders.
With a shitload of time on their hands.
This comes as Alabama and Missouri just joined 40 other states that are urging people to stay home. That covers nearly 95%.
Urges caution. There is concern fear will turn to panic.
Store shelves nationwide are dwindling or totally empty. Like
when I started this, I saw what I saw.
In recent days,
I told people, I was like, you guys don't understand.
The unknown.
Will you fucking listen to me, please?
Comes along with panic.
There are mounting questions now over an alleged plot to overthrow the Michigan state government and kidnap the governor.
Told them exactly what was going to happen.
Look at how they're driving.
Thank you and God bless you. I'll see you in Washington, January 6th.
But it was difficult to be that crazy guy. And I have been trashed and harassed and trolled and fucking lied about because no one wants to hear this.
So we'll start with the hardest question of the day.
Okay. It has every single component of a psyop, a psychological operation. Somebody is doing that on purpose. If you go to QAnon Twitter, what you see are a bunch of people putting out Russian propaganda. There is zero negative information about Russia or Vladimir Putin. It doesn't exist. Why is it that China is the #1 target of QAnon? Why? Why is it China?
Russian government-backed social media accounts began amplifying the QAnon conspiracy theory earlier than previously reported. That's according to a Reuters analysis of Twitter archives from suspended
everything they did in 2016, but better.
That Vladimir Putin personally ordered a cyber and social media campaign to disrupt the recent U.S. presidential election.
He's KGB. All they do are psychological operations.
When the Soviets used the phrase ideological subversion, what do they mean by it?
Ideological subversion is the slow process which we call either ideological subversion or active measures, активные мероприятия in the language of the KGB, or psychological warfare. What it basically means is to change the perception of reality of every American to such an extent that despite of the abundance of information, no one is able to come to sensible conclusions.
When Soviets are running some clandestine active measures operation, like for instance planting some major story in the newspaper in France, West Germany, United States, elsewhere, Japan. That kind of article normally would be written by local in many cases, prominent journalist who will express as if his own or her own.
Pizzagate has been pushed by Michael G. Flynn, son of retired Lieutenant General Michael T. Flynn. After Welch's arrest Sunday, the younger Flynn tweeted, "Until Pizzagate proven to be false, it'll remain a story."
If there's anyone on planet Earth who is the most obvious Russian asset, it's Mike Flynn.
So we have known that there was a phone call between Michael Flynn, the National Security Advisor, and the Russian ambassador to the United States. They admitted that.
You don't have to look. You fucking Google him.
We're told that retired Lieutenant General Michael Flynn, Donald Trump's former National Security Advisor, was paid more than $33,750 by Russia's state-run broadcaster, RT TV Russia, for a speech in Moscow in December 2015. The U.S. intelligence community has long assessed that RT is a propaganda tool of the Kremlin, writing in its January report on Russian interference in the U.S. election that the organization
2016, Mike Flynn starts talking about digital soldiers. Digital soldiers is the idea of an online insurgency, and that was his idea. He trademarked the term digital soldiers in 2017, 9 months before QAnon.
Jericho was a city of false gods and corruption. On God's command, Joshua and the army of Israel marched around the city 7 times and let out a loud shout, and God brought down the walls of the city and exposed the darkness. Our Jericho march was born of a vision from God. We, the people, peacefully march, pray.
The Jericho rally on December 12th, 2020 was the craziest fucking thing I have ever seen.
This is war. We are at war, and you better call it what it is, people.
Satanism is out of the open. The Bible is fulfilled.
Let's take over the country.
Thank you for this general. We thank you that you have anointed him and appointed him for such a time as this. So we decree the Spirit of the Lord and the freedom over this country, because God has brought it and has said it. So we bless the General Flynn and the President.
It's just that it's weird. It's fucking weird. What? What do you mean this general, this guy, a general is like a Russian agent who psyoped the American, like, it sounds crazy. I sound crazy to myself saying it.
Haven't these people, like now, after the insurrection, seen the light, gone away, recognized
No, no. I knew, and my team all knew, 2 things. One, the cult was not going to go away, but that it was also going to be an opportunity to reach out.
President Trump, if you see this, please save us.
There's a woman in this video who really just cannot come to grips with the fact that Joe Biden is president.
This is America. This is
just
our
can't
land.
conceive of it. It doesn't make sense.
Please, President Trump.
And her story is replicated millions of times. There are people just fucking confused because the world doesn't make sense to them anymore.
I'm in great mental health, aside from what the mainstream media tries to say. I'm not deranged, unfortunately.
I was just thinking, like, what if this person knows that none of this stuff is true and they're just messing with people?
So I knew when I started that it was not going to be able to make a difference on my own. So I made as many friends as I could who knew what this was, who could see the harm it was doing and wanted to help.
Hi, my name is Jim Stewartson. I'm the founder of the Thinkin' Project, an organization devoted to helping the victims of undue influence and their friends and family.
We've got technologists and researchers. So this is our Twitter. Mental health professionals.
Helping people over 45 years. It's critical to figure out, are they really fringe? Are they
One of the big goals for me is to take Dr. Hassan's work and the work of others and figure out how to put it into forms that other people can understand and then execute.
Now we're organizing.
It's the greatest psychological intervention that has ever happened on planet Earth. People need to get to work.
We're a 500-person startup that started 6 weeks ago. I'm here to tell you, as somebody who has done a lot of startups, it's just incredible. And the reason is because
I have 3 sons.
3 sons.
21, 18, and 16.
What do they think of the work you're doing?
They're proud of me. You know, they understand it. Maybe a little more than their mom. That's okay. That's how it's supposed to be. It's been an obsession, you know. For me, I charge really hard. I find something important to me and I just go. And like, I just don't know how else to deal with this, you know? I don't know how else to deal with this information I have in my head about what's going on. So.
And now you've found that some of the people who joined your team actually were infiltrators?
we just started getting fucking harassed and attacked. Smears that are designed to make people like me seem nuts. They don't want me talking about Russia. They don't want me talking about the actual people who were behind Jim Watkins and Ron Watkins. And so I'm so stressed out that my fucking body, my fingers don't work to type. Like, that's what's going on right now.
QAnon is just the beginning.
I'm gonna show you some magic.
And if we don't prepare for that, it's just gonna be the same thing all over again.